Hi, Tim here from World of Sleuths. It's been almost 2 weeks since I last made a video, and I figured, hey, now's a good time to record one. As you notice behind me, the room's a little lighter now. We're having good sunlight coming in through the small window in the room. And you can see my bookshelves behind me. Well, as I said before, I moved, and of course, the move has taken up more time than I expected it to for me. But now I've managed to. I've gotten out my stuff upstairs. All except for one box of papers that I have to go through, but I got everything else of mine moved up here. My wife, we have all of our furniture up here. My son's still taking up the garage, some of this furniture, which we're saying he needs to have up here before the end of the month, so my wife can start parking in the garage. So, but with that said, I have been able to start reading more again, so I figured I'd show you what I'm reading. First up is Kill Shot Elmore Leonard. I got behind on my reads from last month for my read along, so I'm catching up on them now. This is one of them. This one's pretty good, about a guy that's an assassin for mafias, like from Canada and stuff. He's half French Canadian, half Indian, and he's teaming up with another guy so far in it. The other guy has been in prison a few times in different states. There's warrants out for his arrest. He was that other guy's goal was to rob a bank in every state except for Alaska. And I'm halfway through it. Next one is or you could say I'm halfway through it. Simple Genius by David Baldacci. It's third one in the King and Maxwell series. And then for my public domain reads, I just finished Love Insurance by Earl Dare Biggers last night. I don't have anything to show on here. I'm not messing around with any of my graphics this morning, but Love Insurance by Earl Dare Biggers. I haven't written my review yet. I will be later this morning. It's it's about a guy that's a lord that came over from England to marry an American woman, and he goes to Lloyd's, like Lloyd's of London, the insurance, big insurance firm. Well, he goes to their office in New York, and he wants to get a insurance policy that he to ensure that he get married to a certain woman by a certain date. Otherwise, he'd get paid. I can't remember how much, but he would put 75 pounds. Paid 75, or was it 75 pounds for 7,500? I can't remember, but so they send a guy from their office in New York to be with them during the week to ensure everything goes right. and and but he was going to go on the yacht that the sort was going on with the guy that he met, but the guy that he met threw him off even before it took off. So he ended up having to take a train down and see the wedding's in San Marcos, Florida, and he had to take a train down there. But once he got into Florida, he knows the train was going slow. And there was a woman watching outside by him, and they decided to get off in San Marcos and get a taxi to take them down San Marcos. I can't remember from where, if it was from Jacksonville or where. I think it was another town, but the guy driving the taxi, he was never drove that far before, but he decided to try it out. And, well, anyway, put it this way: the guy from Lloyd's falls in love with the woman, but it ends up to be the one that's engaged to the Lord. He doesn't find out till they get to San Marcos, and so it pains him, but he's helps us Lord out, and there's just a lot of twists and turns in the story. It's humorous, and it also has action in it. And for that one, I gave it I give it 5 arrows out of a possible 6. And then so what I'm going to be, I'll show you what I'm going to be reading next. So, for the public domain reads, I'm going to pick that out later today. It will be one by Mary Roberts Reinhardt. And after I get these other 2 books done that I showed you, I'll be starting the last one from the August read-alongs. That's The Keeper's Son by Homer Hickam, and First Family, one that had also votes for this month's read-along. It's 4th one in the Sean King Michelle Maxwell series. And oh yeah, and I was going to say, talking with those that are in the public or in my read-along group and stuff. I'm thinking about with Victober being next month and everything. I was thinking about that, having some public domain or books that are in the public domain in the voting for next month, and that way, because you probably see all the videos for Victober, the announcement videos and stuff. Well, anyway, I have a couple books that would work for that I picked out, that I thought of, and then I might have another one. So tell me what you think. If you want me to add those to the poll or not, you can comment down below on that. Well, that's all I have for this time. So until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.